Star Wars is a 1977 American epic space opera film written and directed by George Lucas, produced by Lucasfilm and distributed by 20th Century Fox. The film focuses on a group of freedom fighters known as the Rebel Alliance, who aim to destroy the Empire's newest weapon, the Death Star. When Rebel leader Princess Leia is apprehended by the Empire, Luke Skywalker acquires stolen architectural plans of the Death Star and sets out to rescue her while learning the ways of a metaphysical power known as the Force from Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Plot: amid a galactic civil war, Rebel Alliance spies have stolen plans to the tyrannical Galactic Empire's Death Star, a massive space station capable of destroying entire planets. Imperial Senator Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan, played by Carrie Fisher, secretly one of the rebellion's leaders, has obtained its schematics, but her ship is intercepted by an Imperial Star Destroyer under the command of the ruthless Darth Vader, played by David Prowse and voiced by James Earl Jones. Before she is captured, Leia hides the plans in the memory system of droid R2-D2, played by Kenny Baker, who flees in an escape pod to the nearby desert planet Tatooine alongside his companion, protocol droid C-3PO, played by Anthony Daniels. The droids are captured by Jawa traders, who sell them to moisture farmers Owen, played by Phil Brown, and Beru Lars, played by Sheila Fraser, and their nephew Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill. While Luke is cleaning R2-D2, he discovers a holographic recording of Leia requesting help from one Obi-Wan Kenobi. Later, R2-D2 is missing, and while searching for him, Luke is attacked by scavenging sand people. He is rescued by elderly hermit Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Alec Guinness, who tells Luke of his days as one of the Jedi Knights, former peacekeepers of the Galactic Republic, who drew mystical abilities from a metaphysical energy field known as the Force, but were ultimately hunted to near extinction by the Empire. Luke learns that his father fought alongside Obi-Wan as a Jedi Knight during the Clone Wars until Vader, Obi-Wan's former pupil, turned to the dark side of the Force and murdered him. Obi-Wan offers Luke his father's old lightsaber, the signature weapon of Jedi Knights. R2-D2 plays Leia's full message, in which she begs Obi-Wan to take the Death Star plans to Alderaan and give them to her father, a fellow veteran, for analysis. Although Luke initially declines Obi-Wan's offer to accompany him to Alderaan and learn the ways of the Force, he is left with no choice after discovering that Imperial stormtroopers have killed his aunt and uncle and destroyed their farm in their search for the droids. Traveling to a cantina in Mos Eisley to search for transport, Luke and Obi-Wan hire Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford, a smuggler indebted to local mobster Jabba the Hutt. Pursued by stormtroopers, Obi-Wan, Luke, R2-D2, and C-3PO flee Tatooine with Han and his Wookiee co-pilot Chewbacca, played by Peter Mayhew, on their ship, the Millennium Falcon. Before the Falcon can reach Alderaan, Death Star Commander Grand Moff Tarkin, played by Peter Cushing, destroys the planet after interrogating Leia for the location of the Rebel Alliance's base. Upon arrival, the Falcon is captured by the Death Star's tractor beam, but the group evades capture by hiding in the ship's smuggling compartments. As Obi-Wan leaves to disable the tractor beam, Luke persuades Han and Chewbacca to help him rescue Leia after discovering that she is scheduled to be executed. They find the princess, but arriving Imperial troops cut off the only way to escape. Leia shoots a hole in the garbage chute and tells everyone to dive inside. They manage to escape from the garbage chute. After disabling the tractor beam, Obi-Wan sacrifices himself in a lightsaber duel against Vader, allowing the rest of the group to escape the Death Star with Leia. Using a tracking device, the Empire tracks the Falcon to the hidden Rebel base on Yavin 4. The schematics reveal a hidden weakness in the Death Star's thermal exhaust port, which could allow the Rebels to trigger a chain reaction in its main reactor with a precise proton torpedo strike. Han leaves the Rebels to pay off Jabba, after collecting his reward for rescuing Leia. Luke joins their X-Wing starfighter squadron in a desperate attack against the approaching Death Star. In the ensuing battle, the rebels suffer heavy losses as Vader leads a squadron of TIE fighters against them. Han and Chewbacca unexpectedly return to aid them in the Falcon, and knock Vader's ship off course before he can shoot Luke down. Guided by the voice of Obi-Wan's spirit, Luke uses the Force to aim his torpedoes into the exhaust port, destroying the Death Star moments before it fires on the rebel base. In a triumphant ceremony at the base, Leia awards Luke and Han medals for their heroism. About the film. Star Wars, retroactively retitled Star Wars, Episode IV, A New Hope, was written and directed by George Lucas, produced by Lucasfilm and distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was the first film released in the Star Wars film series and the fourth chronological chapter of the Skywalker saga. The cast includes Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Peter Cushing, Alec Guinness, David Prowse, James Earl Jones, Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, and Peter Mayhew. Principal photography began on March 22, 1976, in Tunisia. Other locations included Guatemala and Death Valley, California. Elstree Studios in England was a primary shooting location. George Lucas faced numerous challenges during production, from technical issues to budget constraints. Despite the hurdles, the film's innovative use of special effects set new standards for the industry. John Williams created the iconic score, including the main theme and the Imperial March. The soundtrack became one of the most celebrated in film history. Star Wars, later retitled Star Wars, Episode IV, A New Hope, premiered on May 25, 1977. The initial budget was around $11 million. The film grossed over $775 million globally, making it a massive commercial success and one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Star Wars received widespread critical acclaim for its storytelling, characters, and groundbreaking visual effects. It won several Academy Awards and is considered a cinematic landmark. The cultural impact of Star Wars is immense, influencing popular culture and inspiring generations of filmmakers. It redefined the sci-fi genre and expanded into a multimedia franchise. Star Wars, retroactively subtitled Episode IV, A New Hope, was followed by the sequels Episode V, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980, and Episode VI, Return of the Jedi, 1983, forming the original Star Wars trilogy. Lucas later returned to the series to write and direct a prequel trilogy, consisting of Episode I, The Phantom Menace, 1999, Episode II, Attack of the Clones, 2002, and Episode III, Revenge of the Sith, 2005. In 2012, Lucas sold his production company to Disney, relinquishing his ownership of the franchise. This led to a sequel trilogy, consisting of Episode VII, The Force Awakens, 2015, Episode VIII, The Last Jedi, 2017, and Episode IX, The Rise of Skywalker, 2019. The franchise expanded with spin-offs Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, 2016, and Solo, A Star Wars Story, 2018, 5 TV series, books, comics, and more, creating a vast and enduring universe. 10 interesting facts about Star Wars movie. 1. George Lucas was so sure this movie would flop that instead of attending the premiere, he went on vacation to Hawaii with his good friend Steven Spielberg. It was on that vacation that they came up with the idea for Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981. 2. In early drafts of the script, R2-D2 could speak standard English, and he had a rather foul vocabulary. Although all of R2's English speech was removed, many of C-3PO's reactions to it were left in. 3. James Earl Jones and David Prowse, who play the voice and body of Darth Vader respectively, never met. 4. This is the only Star Wars movie where Darth Vader's signature theme, the Imperial March, is not played in some form or another, as it had not been written at the time. 5. According to an interview with George Lucas, originally, Luke was a girl, Han Solo was an alien, the Wookiees were called Jawas, and R2-D2 and C-3PO were called A2 and C3. 6. Robert Englund auditioned for the role of Luke Skywalker, but was turned down. He then suggested to his roommate Mark Hamill that he should try for the part. 7. When first released in 1977, this movie was simply titled Star Wars, as it was intended to be a standalone movie. The sequels were not considered until after it became wildly successful. The name of this movie was changed to Star Wars, Episode IV, A New Hope in 1981 to fit in better with the names of the other movies. 8. George Lucas originally wanted Orson Welles to do Darth Vader's voice, but decided against it, feeling that Welles' voice would be too recognizable. 9. In the shooting script, Luke was called Luke Starkiller, but this was changed to Luke Skywalker during production. Starkiller was eventually used in a video game Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, 2008, as the name of the protagonist. 10. The film was second science fiction movie to be nominated for a Best Picture Academy Award, after Clockwork Orange, 1971.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos and don't forget to press like button and share.